Hi there, welcome to Zatu Games. Today I'm going to be reviewing Cloud City, a game of building cities and, more importantly, walkways up in the clouds. Is it sky high or rock bottom? Just thought that then. Let's go find out. This is Cloud City. In the game, you will start with one of the starting tiles with the number of birds on that you are in the player count, and depending on the number of players, you will build a 4x3 or a 3x3 grid. You will take buildings of the matching colours of the squares here, and you always do this whenever you take a tile. You always take the buildings of that colour, and then you will each get 3 from the bag and place 3 in the middle. Then on your turn you simply play a tile to your tableau, play the buildings and play any bridges if you want. Bridges are the main way of scoring points, but you can also add in some objectives for the end of the game, which will either be do this or don't do that to lose or win points. You can add these in randomly or you can choose them. So let's say we're playing normally. I might do something like that, and then I grab 2 blue buildings, and then I can play bridges if I wish, and these are going to be 2 gap bridges, so I will place those on. Now, generally speaking, you're going to score for the amount, the numbers on your bridges, and then any other modifiers from the cards. So if you're playing the basic game, you just want to get big bridges going along. Otherwise, you kind of want to pay attention to the scoring conditions. There are bridges for gaps of 1, 2, 3, 5 and 8, and they don't quite follow how you might think they might follow. Basically, an 8 is from the edge of one tile to the kind of edge of another. To complicate things, the different coloured buildings are different sizes, so you could quite easily have a situation where you are going over some of the ones you've already built. For example, I might end up with something here where I've got this one here and this one here. I don't know if I've got the perfect tile to do it, but I might do something like this and then slap a building there and then put my bridge out. But of course I would need to have another building there as well. So that's how it works. You are not allowed to have more than 2 pathways connected to a building, and you're not allowed to add a bridge later on. When you run out of bridges of any colour, that's tough luck. You can't then use those bridges. So you do have to watch that as well. And at the end of your turn, you'll always replace, so there's 3 for the next person. That is very basically how to play. The objectives add all sorts of things, like I said. So you cross walkways can lose you points, for example. Green buildings can get you points, and so on and so forth. That's how to play Cloud City. Phil Walker-Harding, who designed Cloud City, is a master of these kind of lightweight but super interesting games, and Cloud City is another one. Whilst I don't think it's up to the kind of classic levels of something like Barron Park, there's enough going on here with the visual spectacle and the drafting and tile laying to keep your interest, certainly for family game night and probably for a nice little appetizer between heavier games on your game group night. The game is cheap and small in size, and the plastic pieces are pleasingly solid and robust. Sometimes the gap between the bridges and the when you're gapping the space with a pathway, sometimes it feels like they've not been measured quite right. Sometimes they kind of just
hang on, but going on to the next biggest one is not great. It's too big, but other than that, it works really well. The scoring objectives for the advanced mode bring in a bit more longevity to the game, and this is where I think the game suffers more than anything else. And what stops it from being perhaps a classic on the level of Barron Park is that the replayability here, I think, is slightly lower than other games I've played of his. Gingerbread House, was it Gingerbread House? I can't remember that. Gingerbready one and Barron Park. But yeah, I still do like this. It's definitely above average, worth playing, and but if you have a large collection, you may be looking for something with a bit more replay value. I have played this at all player counts. I think the other kind of problem with it is that it's one of those games where you can be taking your next go before the other person's finished because everything's so snappy, and if you don't check that you're still in the right order with the game, then you could very well find that you've jumped ahead. I like the constraints of the how big you're building. Yeah, I think art-wise, there's not really any art to speak of. It all comes through the pathways and the towers. The base game, I think, gets more boring more quickly because you're only really scoring off the bridges. So I do think you're going to want to add in those special objectives pretty soon. And probably I do wish that there was a few more included just to make it a little bit more replayable. But yeah, it's a nice game, a nice package, certainly better than a lot of games, but doesn't quite touch the levels of greatness of some of this designer's previous work. Definitely worth a punt, especially for the price, but you won't get full satisfaction from it. You'll probably need a second dessert. Thanks for watching another Zatu video. Do remember to hit like and subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. If you want more content from us, we are also on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram and TikTok. We stream live on Twitch on Mondays lunchtimes from 12 PM. That's a solo board game. And we stream live from 9 PM on Fridays playing some video games. On Wednesdays from 8 PM on Facebook is our weekly live show. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you again next time.